A luxury car was once synonymous with a large limousine saloon, but that hasn't been the case for quite a long time. A lot of those traditional saloons, the Mercedes S-Class, BMW 7 Series, and Audi A8, still feature on this list, but they have been joined by a number of SUVs. Many are now available with plug-in hybrid powertrains, as well as the usual large-capacity diesels and V8s. There are even some EVs here. Number 1. BMW 7 Series. If you need proof of how serious BMW is about staking its claim on luxury car glory, then consider the fact the i7 and its ICE-powered 7 Series sibling will only be available in leg-stretching, long-wheelbase guise. While the previous 6 generations of the brand's flagship saloons have placed as much emphasis on driver delight and pampering passengers, this all-new model is all about 5-star cosseting and cutting-edge tech. Not so the interior, which melds all the latest technology with traditional craftsmanship and a rich array of natural materials, including the surprisingly indulgent cashmere wool trim you can choose for the seats. As you'd expect, there's acres of space to lounge around in, while additions such as the 31.3-in BMW theater screen for rear seat passengers takes in-car entertainment to the next level. There's also the usual widescreen display ahead of the driver, but the retention of an iDrive rotary controller means you're not subjugated to the total tyranny of a touchscreen interface. Later this year, the i7 will be joined by a pair of plug-in hybrids, but until then, the i7 remains a deeply impressive addition to the upper-class saloon firmament. Number 2. Mercedes-Benz S-Class. BMW may have knocked it out of the park with the latest 7 Series, but the Mercedes-Benz S-Class is still the default option for good reason. It was last redesigned in 2020, embracing digitization more than ever before. If you want your big Merc with a big battery pack instead of an engine, you need to look towards the Mercedes EQS, which is an entirely fresh take on the electric luxury car and shares next to nothing with its more traditional counterpart, unlike the BMW 7 Series and i7 twins. There's very little wrong with the S-Class's range of petrol, diesel, and hybrid powertrains, though. The lineup tends to shift with availability, but you usually get a choice between the S350D or S400D diesel, or an S500 petrol, which also gets mild hybrid assistance. The diesels are pleasingly real-world, frugal, and smooth, and the S400D has all the performance that a car of this brief would ever need, but the S500 offers an even quicker, and yet still suitable, quiet, and smooth, 400B Plus option should you want it. There's also the plug-in petrol-electric S508 CUE with a combined might of 503 bhp, the ability to travel up to 64 miles in electric-only mode, and a more manageable company car tax bill than the combustion-only models. Number 3. BMW 1X. Number 3 on this list is a double whammy of convention defiance. Not only is the BMW iX not a saloon, but it also doesn't have a combustion engine. It came just over a year before the BMW i7, but it is effectively that car a few inches higher up in the air. It's perhaps marginally less opulent, but having a hatchback, it's also a bit more practical. The Mercedes is comfortable, but the isolation and sophistication of the iX's ride is really very special indeed and makes it a particularly compelling luxury car. The BMW also counters the EQS's wide-eyed futurism with a warmer, more idiosyncratic and less formal flavor, both inside and out. The iX continued to impress when we put it through our full road test. The car's combination of generous SUV-level cabin comfort and versatility, and of a genuinely relaxing and understated luxury ambiance, with world-class rolling refinement and drivability, instant and effortless performance, and creditable real-world range is unmatched by any of the market's other zero-emission SUVs. Even if it doesn't smash down barriers in terms of outright electric range in the way that some will expect of a top-level EV, the BMW iX has compelling fitness for purpose and a real completeness of appeal as a near $100,000 luxury car. Number 4. Range Rover. The latest 5th generation is a very long way from the mildly gentrified farm truck that was the original Range Rover. It is now a fully fledged luxury car, one that trades some of the other entries' on-road dynamics for unbelievable off-road ability. Under the skin, it's all new, featuring Land Rover's MLA Flex architecture, which has an 80% aluminum construction for lightness and strength. Torsional rigidity is up 50% over the old car. In combination with finely honed air suspension, 48V active anti-roll bars, and the availability of four-wheel steering, this Range Rover handles with assured precision and surprising agility. Especially on big wheels, a bit of thumping and the odd shimmy from the body can disturb the serenity slightly. Ultimately, whatever you need and want from a luxury car, the brilliantly executed Range Rover has it covered. The price of entry these days has risen to just shy of $100,000, which is rather a lot, but it's a mark of the car's abilities that it easily justifies this figure, and more besides. Number 5. Hennessy Venom GT. Debuting in 2011, the Venom GT marked Hennessy's initial foray into the competition for the title of the world's fastest production car. This high-speed marvel is built on the foundation of the Lotus Elise and Exige. Under the hood, the Hennessy Venom GT boasts a formidable 7.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine, delivering an impressive 1,244 horsepower and 155 lb-ft of torque. In a rigorous test session held at the Kennedy Space Center in 2014, the Hennessy Venom GT achieved a remarkable top speed of 270.49 mph, outpacing the Bugatti Veyron Supersport. Furthermore, in a separate testing session conducted in 2016 at the Naval Air Station Lemoore in California, the Hennessy Venom GT Spider secured the title of the world's fastest open-top sports car, reaching an astonishing top speed of 265.6 mph. Number 6. Mercedes-Benz EQS. Mercedes-Benz is taking a rather different approach to its flagship EV saloon from its BMW rival, where the BMW 7 Series and BMW i7 share a platform. The S-Class and the EQS are entirely different cars. The quiet running of an EV undoubtedly suits a luxury car, and the EQS is quite the engineering achievement. With a drag coefficient of 0.2, it uses the lack of air vents to good effect, and in combination with a massive 120 kWh battery, that helps it to achieve a real-world range of close to 400 miles in Mercedes EQ's 450i+ guise. It's roomy and quiet, and it rides reasonably well too. However, some of the materials in the interior aren't up to the standards you would expect of a car that starts from over 105,000 RPM. The EQSs we've driven in the UK have also come on very big wheels, and they couldn't quite match the best riding cars here. Number 7. Audi A8. The Audi A8 is one of the older cars on this list. The current generation was always a bit behind its peers for refinement, and although A8's quality interior feels like it was built to outlast civilization itself, it lacks the sense of occasion of the latest BMW 7 Series or Range Rover. However, a facelift in 2022 has allowed Audi to throw a box of technology at its flagship limousine. While all A8s have adaptive air suspension, the sportier V8-powered S8 features what Audi calls predictive active suspension, which mixes forward-facing cameras with a height-adjustable air suspension setup that incorporates fast-acting electromechanical actuators at each wheel. There's a choice of turbocharged engines, a 282 bp diesel or 335 bp petrol, with four-wheel drive as standard and a 48V electrical system that gives it mild hybrid capability. Number 8. Range Rover Sport. The last Range Rover wasn't a small car, but the new one is truly gargantuan on European roads. Four-wheel steering and straight sides make it manageable, but you might just want the Range Rover experience in a slightly smaller package. The Range Rover Sport shares much with its full-sized sibling, not least its outstanding mechanical refinement and luxury appeal. Where the Sport distinguishes itself is its capacity to control its considerable mass, to sharpen the precision of its responses, and to distinguish itself as something of a driver's car. While it is still an undemanding vehicle to drive, it is also tactile, and at least a little communicative. So if the Sport is a slightly more Europe-appropriate Range Rover, isn't it also simply a better Range Rover? Not really, because some of the perceived quality of its interior materials doesn't quite stack up. And when comparing with the best luxury cars, that does knock it down a few places. Number 9. BMW X7. The original X7 was no shrinking violet, but it's fair to say the latest car is even more imposing. Combining a similar twin horizontal headlight setup and vast grille with the car's existing barn door frontal area means this is a car you won't miss in your rear-view mirror. Inside, there's a lower dashboard complete with the brand's now familiar seamlessly curved instrument cluster and infotainment screen, while an improvement in material quality creates the air of luxury the old car just missed out on. On the road, the X7 handles its size and bulk well, feeling surprisingly precise and athletic when cornering, while its ride is comfortable without running out of control. New for the facelift are a pair of mild hybrid-assisted straight-six petrol and diesel engines. We've driven the former in smooth and eager 375 bhp BMW X7 xDrive 40i guys, but we suspect the torque and efficient 347 bhp xDrive 40D will be the best foil to the high-riding X7. Number 10. Audi Q8. A great many enthusiasts have taken against the modern luxury car buyer's preference for the SUV, but when you drive a car like the Audi Q8, it's easy to appreciate why they're so liked. This designer take on a Q7 has more visual presence and curbside appeal than its dowdier, boxier relation, but the same brilliantly rich, solid feeling and inviting interior. Comfort and refinement are first class. The driving experience is light feeling and filtered, with stable and secure handling being delivered like it might be on a less advanced four-wheel drive estate car. And the engine range is wide. You can have 6-cylinder petrol or diesel power. There's a choice of 2 emissions, saving plug-in hybrid petrol engines. One with as much as 457 bop, and then there are the Audi SQ8 and RS Q8 performance models, which allow you to mix as much urgency into the Q8's driving experience as anyone could want. That's all from us today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you for tuning in.